push me away, your lifeline. Losing your mind. I'm here for you, babe. I've loved you the same this whole time. So tell me, what's on your mind? And I'm not here to hear you say you're fine. I can take the pain you hold inside. I wanna know, wanna see it. Can I feel your kryptonite? Can't get this off my mind. Does it only control you? Let me in, I'll help you out. I won't lose you this time. You think you're too far, but I'm where you are, you know. I said I won't leave your side. They left you bare, but I'm begging you, stare in my eyes for you. Yeah, I give my life. And I'm not here to hear you say you're fine. I can take the pain you hold inside. I wanna know, wanna see it. Can I feel your kryptonite? Can't get this off my mind. Does it only control you? Let me in, I'll help you out. I won't lose you this time. I wanna know, wanna see it. Can I feel your kryptonite? Can't get this off my mind. Does it own you, control you? Let me in, I'll help you out. I won't lose you this time.
One more wine, one more whiskey, and we just kept the car in park and dim the headlights so we see the stars. Let them tell us where we should start. And I'm scared as hell because there's no way to know how this goes. But I can't help but say I promise to give you my all. But it might break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me down. I won't let you down. But it might break me, break me. It might break me, break me. It might break me down. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me down. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me. It might break me down. It might break me. The sight of you, it makes me dizzy. And when you're gone, I miss your face. Tonight I'll meet you in our favorite place. And just can't let this wait one more day. But I'm scared as hell, and there's just no way to know how this goes. And I can't help but say, trusting why you are so beautiful. But it might break me. It might break me, break me. It might
So let's go back to the beaches where I always make you laugh, to the forest where we found a hidden path, to the summertime of 2005, when we were still alive, when we were still alive. When we were still alive. When we were still alive.
Welcome everybody to GitGud North America. I am Joe Razor, joined here by Intel, and we are getting ready to bring you the grand finals of this season's expert division, the highest division in GitGud. And it's finally all culminated here into this one final match of the season. And I mean, I'm very excited.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit more upset. This is going to be the last stream of the season, so the Grand Finals NA Expert is going to be one that it's going to be beautiful. I absolutely think I'm very excited to see PR Icarus versus Char, because I've never been able to pronounce their name right. I apologize. You just do it without hesitation. Either way, both of these teams and their rosters.
We went over this last time we casted. We spent like 20 minutes during a break discussing how to properly pronounce it, and I just forgot it.
Don't worry about it.
It took you 3 weeks to forget it.
Listen, yes. Either way, both of these teams and their rosters, they've been knowing each other for a very long time. They've had opportunities to conflict, but now at the end, and a best of 4, this is where they finally have to be able to meet up with each other. Obviously, there are some players that you may be able to recognize, such as Lich, Eevee, Nevermind, who have been very good. Same with Super B, Asu, and like Speedy, as well as like Septa, who's a personal favorite of mine solely because I live in Philly, so a Septa bus is what you ride.
Yeah. But yeah, they're definitely good rosters from both ends. Like you mentioned, Charybdis and Icarus. Charybdis has been very dominant so far this season, putting on great performance after great performance, and has considerably looked like to be the top dog here in Expert. But I definitely think we could see a decent performance from Icarus. They've looked really good when it comes to the individual aspect, which is what you would expect from a division like this. But they're also just a pretty well put together team, all things considered.
Gotta say I agree to that. Though, being in this type of area is going to be extremely difficult. These rosters have been seeing each other. They've been knowing each other for a very long time, and I think a big worry goes into our first map. It's something that everybody's been running. It's something that everybody understands and is prepared to go up against. Lijiang Tower is not a map that you want to be going up against a team that you have basically been fighting for the entire season.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower is where we will start, like you said. It's a very standard control map. Just a lot of compositions are available to be played, and for the most part on this map, you see the team that is the best when it comes to their team coordination and kind of their discipline tends to be able to win this map specifically. Because while you can get away with some maps like Junkertown or even Rialto to a lesser extent, you can get away a lot with some big individual plays. But here I find on Lijiang, it really is a lot about team coordination.
I definitely would have to agree. Everything is so close quarters and so compact that it can be a big problem if you're playing so split out. Your team being able to coordinate so quickly, it's what's going to define a lot of how these fights take place. Being out here in this wide open, this is still more favorable to a dive. One of the better maps to have your early start, and nothing you have to truly stress over the team taking different variations. Though we're already seeing Icarus more favorable to that just specific dive composition, not looking like a shadow dive more of it, but we may see ult try to switch over to that Sombra after using that TP, while Char, because I will never be able to remember their name properly, even though you just told me, are going over with the Wrecking Ball comp, which is absolutely amazing at times, especially if you understand how you're going to be playing it.
Yeah, so ball comp here versus what appears to be a 6-man, but no Sombra, so pretty wacky variation of the 6-man. While the other side, like you said, is going to be this ball comp. As you can see, Icarus, they're going to go aggressive right across the bridge here, trying to collapse on that Zenyatta, who manages to make it out without a scratch, but the Sombra, not so luckily. Neptune does not have his translocator put into a usable position, ends up dropping.
A little bit more of an unfortunate match. You really need that Sombra to stay up, and even while they're wanting to contest this point, it's the dive. It's so good at isolation and capturing. There's just not much that you're going to be able to do if you're not kind of protecting your own team from these variations.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with you. Very aggressive play, though, coming out from Icarus, going across from White Room to try to meet them early, and they're going to use Coalescence on top of that, hunting this Zenyatta. Point is being capped up, though, from Charybdis. You'll see somebody go back to touch it. I believe that was the Tracer. And this Coalescence from a Kiwi is in such a beautiful position to manage to take down the supports.
It's an absolute aggression, and that's what basically they should be working off on. Though we are seeing them wanting to defend and, well, try to mess around, I don't really see much coming out of the Wrecking Ball comp. They're not really being able to play it through its strength. Icarus are just so fast.
Yeah, Icarus are really playing very aggressive there. Transcendence has to be forced out for Speedy. Not gonna be too bad. Great stick onto him. Bracer pick. Finding some good value there. Takes down the Zenyatta. Hackham's throw to Lich. That's a 2K from Super B. What a pulse bomb there to take down the support line. The Diva Bomb buys a lot of space, and it results in a frag as well. He was gonna pop this Primal Rage to try to clutch this up. Manages to find the Wrecking Ball and forces out the recall as well. Going very aggressive, but Scud needs to jump back to point.
Just barely going to be able to escape out of that. If Eevee had missed that jump, it possibly could have resulted in a death, but that's all theoretical. Either way, their aggression is not allowing their opponents to be able to do anything when it comes to just playing the game. They've barely been able to kind of make up their ultimates, and look at that, already an amazing start to the fight.
Yeah, and that 80% Charybdis, they need to either back out or engage in a 4v6 here, as this is inching closer and closer to an Icarus win.
They're watching out for each other. 90% truly uncontested at this point. Lich having the Death Blossom is going to be a big ultimate to start setting up. I haven't really seen Char do too much, and look, I guess, wants another engagement.
Yeah, tag comes through from the Tracer around the side, as we see a swap from Neptune onto the Cole Cassidy. As you can see, the Tracer 1v1 is being sought out there and is won by side of Icarus. D-Mac comes through, and then there's the Death Blossom as the cherry on top. Charybdis kind of got dominated there on this opening point.
So definitely hurt to see that happen. I just think the way they were playing their composition did not work the way they wanted to. It's a very kind of idea. I think the idea goes behind it is playing very split, playing very open, setting yourself up to have that Wrecking Ball dive. But the big problem came in is that Icarus never gave you that opportunity. They just immediately, the moment they saw your team walk out of that spawn room, would dive in, use that bubble, use all the resources that they could, immediately win that fight. So when moving out into this next one, that aggression is going to be absolutely necessary. We're seeing them wanting to walk into server rooms, and, well, it's all about who's going to be able to get that first pick. The Sigma, though, debatably has a weaker chance. We're just going to have to see how this turns out.
Yeah. So, Brawl v Brawl here. Symmetra TP allows Charybdis to get up a lot closer. Once again, though, it's going to be a Tracer pick from Icarus. Seems to really like that so far. Wonder if they will stick to it. And Icarus have a really good hold so far. Charybdis are kind of locked out. They're going to TP on the point, though. So they will manage to surpass the defense for now, but then immediately get blowed up there. Icarus, with some great target focus, absolutely cause an implosion of the Charybdis members. First cap goes their way.
They spelt their own doom, and there's nothing you can do about that. That TP gave Lich so much room to start shooting them, when before it was just really hitting those shields, and it was a big problem. The Tracers aren't really that much of an issue. I think Ultimate is more there to kind of be a hassle.
Yeah, I'm using a swap on the Tracer for Super B there, as a lot of players falling low on Icarus. They managed to back out, though. Tracer duel kind of happening on the point here. Ultimate is not have to use his recall, but Sukubi not so lucky there. You see very aggressive play coming through from Lich. Nearly gets caught out with that flashbang, manages to evade. For now, Kiwi is the one to drop those. Shatter is dropped. Knocks down many members of Charybdis, and they're on their back foot. It's going to be Icarus holding on to the objective.
They managed to just, again, push forward. They're not really scared of anything. I think they're more worried about keeping themselves up. Eevee, though, not really kind of carry. Almost goes down, but is basically fine. They now have ultimates if they truly fear against Char.
Yeah, 100%. As they are heading into Riptide comes out from Lich. Looking to see if we can find him, but he might go down the Tracer here, and does not actually do so, as the Riptide just managed to find what Supi takes him down quite late. And it does not really matter, so Icarus, one fight territory, and they're going to be able to stagger this baby diva out.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Losing the 1v1 due to a trap. Super B almost had it. But still, they are not being able to keep it. I don't know what Icarus smoked this morning. Absolute G Fuel of the jungle. But they've been able to kind of take these ultimate fights very early, and that's what's been helping them a lot.
Yeah, 100%. They are heading in there. Diva Bomb comes in the back, finds some space. Pulse Bomb gets eaten. Great plays there from the Diva of Charybdis. It's high noon as well now coming through from Neptune. Shatter misses its mark. And 99%. Charybdis need to make the aggression. They need to go for a play. But all that is happening is their annihilation. This is a 200-0 here. Not a single percentage gain for Charybdis this map.
I gotta say, I feel absolutely terrible. The big problem came is that they used the high noon, but they stood still, and that's not a terrible thing, but it's definitely not something that you want to do, because you're going to be seeing yourselves not winning out on Lijiang Tower at a massive disadvantage and a momentum shift. And look at this, Froggies is even going to be able to just kind of pull out the throw onto you. Man, I think a big problem just came down to momentum. We're at the high CELO, so mechanical skill isn't something that I think you have to worry about. Compositions, as much as they matter, they're a little bit of a difference. You know, I think they're not going to be that much. It's similar to how kind of down in Rookie, the very low elos, compositions don't matter, because once you're comfortable, you're comfortable. I guess the best idea to say that is like Chengdu Hunters type of way, where they're going to be able to play whatever they want, and it doesn't really matter what the meta is. However,
okay, I get what you're coming from, but when you tend to watch these expert games, I tend to find that the comps a lot of the times can help decide the outcome in some situations, because you'll see times where people try to force things they're super comfortable with, and they get rolled because there's a team that's comfortable on what's good on that map, right? So yeah, you can definitely make your comfortabilities work as long as the other team is not comfortable on what is best on that map, if that makes any sense. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like the Sigma wasn't the problem, and as they were kind of switching up, going to that Cassidy, trying to make those difference, you know, what was more of a familiarity when it comes to Lijiang Tower, I think the big problem came is that they weren't playing like they wanted to use that composition to its fullest. And again, I want to bring up that last point when it came to using that high noon. Icarus were terrified. That shatter misses, doesn't cancel out. You overstay your welcome. You try to put some pressure. You have healing. You don't really have much to kind of care. But unfortunately, because they're getting hit by a few different angles, they want to stay back. They want to be able to peel in for that Cassidy, and they don't manage to kind of put pressure onto that Reinhardt. It's not their map, I guess, and they're going to be going down. However, this is a series first to four, meaning they have a lot of opportunity to be able to bring it back. And while we didn't see any starring moments, at least we can talk a little bit more about how Icarus, they looked absolutely phenomenal. I don't know what they woke up on, but it's absolutely beautiful.
I mean, Icarus kind of rolled. I mean, that map was... What time is it? I mean, that map took like... That was like a 10-minute map.
Yeah, normally...
It was a 200-0. Charybdis did not get one flip.
Yeah, normally I like to say sometimes it isn't a roll, it's just the other team is throwing. But that was an absolutely roll. A roll is defined by your not being able to play what you're doing. You're not having any form of setup. And
there was like 2 fights all map that I felt Charybdis could have won.
I definitely have to say that, you know? Like, if we were specifically sitting there VOD reviewing this, I think we could like poke out every little detail, like that could have been changed, that could have been done, you know. But smaller things. But either way, I feel like no matter what you could have done, Icarus were ready to fight you 10 times harder. They were just they were like going 110% for no reason for such an early map.
I mean, you say no reason. If you could get this over 4 maps, hour and a half game, I mean, that's gonna feel pretty good. Like, if you could get this game done quickly, I mean, that's everybody's dream. I mean, of course you like dream about the big clutch scenarios and stuff as a player, but if you're able, I mean, if you ask any player, of course they just want a quick 4-0, go home and win it like that. So I think Charybdis definitely not out of it. They're a great team, and I think they could find a way to answer back here, but I think it's going to need to be more niche picks on some very specific map picks, because when you are playing, if you play into what Icarus wants to do, it looks like Icarus might just roll.
I definitely can't say that like you're wrong in that sense. Also, I the more I'm thinking about it, I think I recognize Evi. I may actually know them, but unless they DM me, I'll never remember. Though they are going to be taking this opportunity to figure out who's going in this next map, possibly any switches. More than anything, I want to see what's going to happen. I think map choices are by far the biggest thing in Overwatch, because that basically makes or breaks it. Some teams just refuse to flat out scrim specific points, or just never do. I think a good example, even though it's most likely not in our map pool, is like Route 66, which has always been a map that no team ever likes to play, but every team, I don't really see, some teams tend to scrim it, or than anything, and sometimes that becomes a problem. Though either way, it's not really an escort. We're going over to a hybrid, and one of my more favorite maps, Eichenwald. Eichenwald is by far a better map than King's Row. You can, well, I'm a caster, so I've like watched so much King's Row that Eichenwald is like a new map to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen Eichenwald third point. I don't think I've like ever seen it. Is there a third point to Eichenwald?
That they rent it out once a month for the Halloween event, I'd like to believe.
Oh, okay, makes sense. But
yeah. But
definitely a interesting map pick here. Eichenwald is a fairly interesting map. You see a lot of ball comps and double shield get play on here. Double shield defenses seem to be everybody's favorite, especially for that first point. And then as you move through, second point can be really awkward to try to take as the offense. But yeah, definitely a fun map pick.
Yeah, this map has a lot to work with, I think, and the reason why it becomes so much of a difficulty moving it to that third point is that it's such a long path on that second area, and spawn points kind of change, that if you don't have that focus fire, it's not really going to be working out to your benefit. And, well, Icarus, as a team who have been continuously showing to be able to move forward, they may be able to kind of pop this out, though they seem to not want to run anything out of the ordinary. Well, it sounds random, but I think for the division that we're in, this is basically your set composition. The Wrecking Ball is just so good that if you comparably run out on the Brawl, you're going to just get hit by every angle, and it becomes such a big problem. So now watching to see how they're going to be playing this, it's basically going to... the question goes down to, is Neptune going to be able to hack people and immediately take out Eevee, Spike, Ult, Lich, or are they just going to get away scot-free?
Yeah, definitely agree. We'll have to see. As, like you said, Wrecking Ball. Junkrat pick from Lich. Fairly interesting. But we'll see, and I mean, sure, Osamu just gets deleted. They're just not allowed to play. And then the aggression coming through from Icarus as well. They're setting them packing, taking down Neptune as well. Super be running for his life as, I mean, Icarus just did a minuscule amount of trolling.
How do you even put pressure onto someone like Lich sitting on top of that high ground? Has that trap just be able to slow you down? And does so much damage that Speedy and Septa are basically small rats trying to move into this fight. Oh no.
Oh, what an ante. Just wrecks the backline. I mean, look where Charybdis has not been able to move through the choke. The only players that have successfully are the Wrecking Ball of Osamu and then Tracer or Super B. They do manage to get 2 kills though. They take down this Echo Mercy combination, which has been doing a lot of their heavy lifting, so maybe a chance here for Charybdis.
An absolute beautiful way just to take that. I mean, if more than anything you're scared of them, you just need to push forward. And then once again, this fight already breaking through, and they are just moving forward with full health.
Yeah, so Icarus are on the back foot. They're going to start to have respawn step 3 though from their 2 members they lost. But for this duplicate go forward, most likely onto the D.Va. Trying to assassinate the Zenyatta first, does so successfully. Gets the nano boost as well. Not sure if that was intended for him or the Wrecking Ball, but anyways, it doesn't matter as they are just winning out this fight. And the duplicate, cherry on top. Not sure if it was necessarily needed, but...
Yeah, ego dupe. They didn't need it, but they wanted it. That's what I'd like to say. I was really worried because early on in the fight, Lich got hit with a massive attack. Now Lich is even switching, but they're not really, I guess, diving on anyone. They're kind of hesitating at times, especially when their support line is being poked or being hit. Everybody, not just the D.Va, everybody moves in trying to do as much as they can.
Yeah, 100%. So, Neptune trying to find any form of picks like Charybdis are finally able to starting to move forward here. There needs the Transcendence to do so. Opening pick Stowe goes the way of Icarus. Charybdis managed to get the trade, so it's a 1-for-1 there in that fight. Minefield gets deployed. Trying to kill down this Brigitte is Eevee, but just denied of the opportunity to do so. And space has been gained here from Charybdis, but they're still losing members. And that looked like their best fight so far, but still, Charybdis were by far and away kind of not really getting chance. They commit the rally though, so maybe they still feel like there is a chance.
Oh,
but yikes.
Yeah, that's not gonna be working out too well, more importantly, because now they're at a massive disadvantage yet still taking the fight.
Yeah, definitely. Charybdis though, they're still sticking around there, still desperately trying. And this is a full hold.
Well, it's looking like it.
This is so close to a full hold here. Look how many ults Icarus has.
They're just not scared. They're getting a lot of value playing what they're good at, and it's really working. Though Zenyatta is very much more of those picks, and Lich now onto the Cassidy is going to be able to build up to this high noon. This fight's already taking off.
Yeah, fight is going underway there. The dupe there has to be used onto the Zenyatta just to stay alive there, so they waste the nano boost and the Echo dupe, and it's just a wrecking ball duel on second point. And Eevee's very low here, or Sabu very low. Minefield gets deployed, managed to kill one. Very few members of Charybdis remaining, and they're trying for the speed run here. That is a full hold for Icarus.
I've never seen a full hold in that type of not aggression, but style, rather being more. We saw that Echo dupe being used very early from the side of Icarus and Charybdis. They weren't really able to kind of do anything against it. It was just popped. It was more of an ability rather than an ultimate. Mind you, they used it very early to get that Zenyatta, and then we saw them build it back up kind of mid to late fight. No longer are they being able, well, saying no longer, it kind of implies that they were able to do it at the beginning, but Charybdis are not being able to do anything. And they're kind of scrambling. We did see them get that nice fight where they got a couple picks, but then the Brig gets pooped off the map. And while using the rally, that's not good. That is not good in any definition of the word good. Now, not only do they need to full hold, but even if they get that, it's not a win. That's a draw.
Yeah, they're looking at a draw. They're trying to pull a Detroit Lions today.
Oh man, I'm just really hoping to see this work out.
I'm hoping Charybdis can answer back, because, I mean, if this is how they go out on the season, this is going to feel devastating, but...
No, they're just warming up. You don't even
they're
understand.
Warming up. They don't get good till game 4.
Listen, that's how most teams work. Now,
that's not true. That's not how most teams work. If most teams got good at game 4, you'd see a lot of 3-0s. A lot of 3-0s.
Fair enough, but this fight's already taken away. They have to just take an early engagement. Take these dives like this.
Good sleep.
Not that.
Yeah, that's a really nice deep start there from Kiwi, but the Wrecking Ball manages to make out. He's got 3 EVs, trying to have the same result. Needs to be careful here. He's being pretty, playing pretty loosey-goosey here with his life. What is the support line doing? They've just, like, rotated onto second point, like, the high ground above it. And, I mean, they get the kill on an F2 here, so man advantage out for Icarus. Anthony connects onto Seda. They will be able to try to collapse on her. They ought not to, though, so Seda, he will make it out alive. There's the opening pick there onto the Wrecking Ball. And then Lich is going to head into the back. Kills 3.
Oh, my.
Ran the DMAX. Full spawn for style points. The 4K for Lich.
Oh, my. I know Overwatch League is looking for players, especially DPSs, because PR Icarus, they are looking absolutely insane. Oh, it was such a clean style, and it gets stolen.
Ooh, that was a gross game.
Oh, it was for this. It was for this the whack-a-mole go-kart fight that we got to see. Unfortunately, it just seems that Charybdis are not. I think they're not just ready yet. They're very much looking like they're hesitating in these fights. The compositions and styles that they're playing are not working to their benefit. We even saw for that first little bit, the Brig and Ana weren't healing anyone, and nobody died. They didn't try to overinvest. They didn't try to engage. The fact that the Ana was there meant that sleep and resources were being put in, so that's why the Wrecking Ball dives with the D.Va that you have. The D.Va, well, if nobody's diving onto them, dive with your ball. You know, it's the setup. You have to be able to peel in, and Charybdis weren't able to get really anything done, and it became a problem. The more and more and more it went on, Icarus have a chance to basically show that they can full hold on anything. I think we can both agree. 200-0 and then a full hold back-to-back, that's an impressive start for the series.
Yeah, and see if they can keep that up here. We're only 20 minutes in, but we are going to head to a break. We'll be back after
20 minutes?
For the next couple maps. Intel doesn't believe it, but yeah, we will be right back.
They did find Cucumber, but he's going to lift him.
Oh, Vulcan gets caught right into that, and Speed is going to be able to follow up. Talking about jumping over to the Doofus, talking about playing into the Doofus.
A manos de la bola. Ya son 3 las picks que conseguía el equipo de British Hurricane.
We need your help to decide our Opinion Outpost MVP of the match.
He's got a minute to kind of work some sort of pick against this Doc, and oh my good lord, he just got eviscerated. See?
Oh! He's not dead! Hey, now he's dead!
Holy cow, I've never seen someone get so aggressive.
Oh, catches their opponent outside of the building, and that is it!
It's Rocket League Wednesday on the High School Esports League home room. I am, as the kids say, vibing right now. This is just fumes for them, while Pharaoh rips shot after shot after shot of the back of them.
Good wall towards site, but it's already been broken, so they can't even get that spike down trustedly. Camera over towards site, and again, it's getting all that information. Heatbot going absolutely massive!
Here in this map number 4 season, up on championship point, being up 2-1. Nifty dropped down to 19 HP. Joker with his M13 in hand is just trying to hold the angles.
Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Alright, 'cause I'm free. Free.
coming out from them. And then the Ana goes down after that, and it was just quick cleanup. Resignations and Witty Wave really clutching out in the DPS department for SM, and they've got first capture crossing 15%. Ultimate's coming up online already. You're going to have Deadeye, and look, we've got Grab Dragons available for that test.
Oh, and they're going to waste no time in committing it. The Graviton comes out. It was there, but it's not going to get any...
Oh, excited. Thank you so much, Cybjorn. Living up to the... Oh, beautiful strats from Warrior Esports. They're going to go ahead and teleport directly onto the point. So they will be meeting them tantamount.
Nothing to try and eat it with, nothing to stave it off, no support ultimates. They've got a shatter. It might just have to be put in to keep the Bastion ult, but they don't care about this Bastion ult. They've got a Batiste!
Oh man, this is just nutty right now.
This is not something that you want to push in on, but it's going to be the bomb and the charge into Mansion picks up 3! All of the 3 that you want, the Reinhardt, both of the supports, and this is the fight done already. Frost Dragon
comes.
It does pull out the Transcendence, but the anti-nade gets...
And here comes back on the Doomfist, not hacked up by the EMP critically. Starjummer has the Deadeye, no hack this time around. Starjummer gonna clean up the fight, get 3, get the electric cowboy for dancing effect.
This might be the best map for that in all of Overwatch, as we see the hook shot and the headshot.
Bane with the silk thread shot, show it off.
Isn't gonna work well against the Ghost Confar as fine but you're not gonna get through this.
I love watching teams that I haven't seen play before play. It's always thrilling.
Round 1.
It really is. It's wild cards. It's something you don't get to see at the higher levels. Everybody's at least been seen usually at lower level matches. So this is always a fun experience.
They're like the best and like the second and third best player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were in the finals last year against each other.
I don't really think these two players were though. These
in
two
Tetris?
Teams? I'm not talking about Tetris because we're back in live, you boom man. Chat, don't even worry about Joe. He's listening to the
completely missed the fact that we had got back into the.
You were told.
I was told, and I still completely missed it.
Well, either way, we're back from halftime. Got the 2-0. Icarus being able to kind of take the lead over Charybdis in a debatably, well, most likely in a sense.
Charybdis, not Charybdis.
Charybdis?
Come on, Endo. Yeah, it's Charybdis.
No matches. All right, listen here.
If you expect people to pronounce the underscore in your name, you can pronounce Charybdis correctly.
Listen, all I just want to let you know is that our next map coming into this, because you just want to be hating on me for a little bit, is going to be Junkertown, one of those more favorable sniper opportunities. Absolutely in love with this map. I always love to see it because I never really see the same thing at times.
Yeah, Junkertown's a very funny map. It's a funny map. A lot of funny comps can get played on it. Like you said, the snipers, but outside of that, you see a lot of ball comps get played on here, as well as those double shields. It can be a very wild map at times, but I am definitely a fan of it.
Babe, I can't say that I'm not. More than anything, this is another Wrecking Ball map, and I think Icarus, their performance on this is absolutely terrifying. It's a bit more higher level than I actually expected. I think the way they play it and the way that they go about it technically feels like you're watching a team that competes in OD. And that's not really like too high to say because people at this elo are technically can compete in around the OD. But the way Icarus just takes it, I feel like the format and energy that they're kind of showing off, they look confident. They look unworried. Charybdis, though.
Charybdis.
Listen, Spanish was my first language. Okay, mi amigo.
No español. I only speak American.
I don't need that. I don't need that from you. Either way, what I'm more looking at is to see how they're going to be trying to bring it back. They really need to get this map win because I think if there's anything, you don't want to have your last opportunity be on a 2 CP.
I want to see a 12 CP today, and I feel like this is the perfect game to have it. Here. Let me set the scene. We're gonna get a roll here. from Icarus. And then we're going to get a 12 CP draw on the next map. Then after our 12 CP draw, we will head forth into a reverse sweep. That is how that's how it must be. You down for that intel?
I don't know if I am. You know, I'm not Kong Man. 2CP is not one of my more unfavorable maps, and that's just because I think 2CP is really annoying when you see a team get a really nice play, but then immediately the defending side is able to just scoot their boot, kind of all spawn in, and then immediately win it back. Though I will agree, well, not agree, but say that it's kind of the team's fault for not target focusing. At times, it feels a little bit cheap and unrewarding to play on.
Yeah,
So?
I agree. You sound smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's I definitely agree. It's 2CP can be a bit of a dread, but we're not on 2CP. Do you want to hear what map type? It's escort. You already said it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out, Joe. Don't worry.
You already said it. I was gonna try to quiz you.
You were gonna
and
try
then
and
I just
quiz.
answered your own question.
You got your brain stuck in the pickle jar inside that pantry, my good man?
There's no pickle jar in the pantry.
Oh, it's not a part of the collection just yet. You just have a Pringles can full of every Washington Justice person.
Yeah, everybody except Rhea. I got the coaches there too, except Supreme, because Supreme refuses to do signings.
Actually?
Yeah, he refuses to do signings.
Why though?
I don't know.
Oh, whichever. Either way.
I got their assistant coaches though.
Oh, massive. Yeah, at least you get that. We are looking at what was more expected, though no double shield. It is a very popular composition, mostly due to the fact that you can slow down the Wrecking Ball comp, and especially at time, you can absolutely break it. Ultimate still trying to hit the same thing, though the moment that we eventually get off of them, they're going to hit it. Either way, this is all going to be to see who's going to be able to kind of get those picks. I think it's going to be really hard for Cerebi to consistently find any value on that Widowmaker just because of how split everybody is. Even if they're more open up, they're going to be paying attention to where you're sitting at every single moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's going to be tough for Cerebi to be able to find value. And also when you're playing into this Tracer, it might be a slog. This may be a tough one for Cerebi to be able to find too much value, but we will see. See Neptune trying to chase down this opposition's Tracer there. It's going to be the Wrecking Ball of Osama who's actually the first to fall there. Gets caught out playing too aggressive in that mega health pack room. And that's going to stall out Charybdis for a moment.
They're taking their time. They're really looking for these big openings, but they're not making any openings. They're just getting hit by so much damage that this choke point's becoming an impenetrable castle.
Yeah, they're just getting stalled out there. Good pick, though, from Ultimate on the Super B. Takes him down. And you can see Charybdis, they're just not able to get the cart moving here. They're just stuck at 40 meters. Losing a player, wait for them to respawn. Lose another player, wait for them to respawn. This is just a never-ending cycle, it appears. And you can see Ultimate's try to continue that cycle. And then they collapse on this grouping of Charybdis playing by the coast. Kill two of them, looking for a third. Osami does manage to trade. He finds two. Out of nowhere, Pulse Bomb though connects onto Speedy to get a to help calm things down for just a moment.
I mean, that's an equal trade. It's not the worst thing in the world, and eventually you're gonna kind of take out almost.
What an accretion!
I have to agree. That peel was absolutely insane. Now they're at a massive disadvantage.
Yeah, Charybdis. They had a window of opportunity, and they seem to have squandered it. Good Wrecking Ball play, forces Spike off the high ground. Here he is growing ever closer to this Ravidic Flux. No real ultimates have been built up for Charybdis quite yet. Only really had Transcendence to counter it. And you can see Transcendence from Icarus comes out. And with that, they're going to push the aggression here. Take down 4, make it a 5th. Looking to try to grab that Tracer on the exit, but does not even matter.
My goodness. If there's any reason why to compete in GitGud, it's definitely to go up against teams like this, especially if you want to kind of compete in OD and other kind of tournaments. This is that better practice. Icarus, though, building up these ultimates. They may lose one, but they're going to be looking for another.
Yeah, they take out Osamu, who is, I mean, losing your tank is not what you want to see. Transcendence comes out, managed to get 1 accretion, misses on the Gravitic Block, so does manage to come through, but just gets killed.
Oh,
though.
Ultimate tried to keep his team into this. He kills 2. How in God's name? And he's looking for the Brigide as well, but he gets caught out. He has 2 HP. He's juking. He's dodging. He recalls. Finally goes down. Oh my gosh.
Absolute Scooby-Doo moments. I'd say they were smurfing. However, they are not looking good when it comes to this defense.
Yeah, they should be pushed back for a moment. You're going to see the Grenadic Flux come through. I believe it hit 1 target. No kill off the back of it. High Noon's going to buy some space. And the kill as Kiwi does go down. Wrecking Ball of Eevee. Got maybe a bit too much hubris on the play he went for there. Ends up falling because of it. Spike, though, manages to get a trade. Spike finds 2 players still in this for Icarus.
Excuse me?
And then Sigma carry. He says Sugma. What's Sugma? You don't want to know.
No, look, the Brigida and Wrecking Ball, they come back. They're able to heal.
Yeah, the Brigand and Wrecking Ball, like you said, have returned. So you have a lot of players now for Icarus. And, I mean, Charybdis just gets sent back.
It's overtime. Don't let yourselves get full hold. Build those ultimates and play to your aggression. Oh no!
You hate to see it there. Opening pickup. What a stick. Ultimate. Absolutely dominated. And this is a full hold once again. Icarus. Oh my gosh.
I'm absolutely lost for words. That visor could have been absolutely insane. Unfortunately, though, it just seems that Icarus are ready to counter you at any point. They really didn't try to increase that fight's pace. They were doing well when they got those picks, especially when Icarus were trying to go a little bit too eager. They got punished a lot, especially Alt, who was like trying to get those really cool style points from before, but then gets punished for it, especially from the Brigida. So they did not try to collect. It's the same issue going over and over and over again because it's the same composition, and that's what we need to be focusing on. Osamu needs to be telling everyone, hey, move up. Moss is 1v1ing Spike, and it is not winning that out. Or focusing somebody else like the Brigida, who can get killed by that Sigma very easily. If you're not collapsing onto the same target with this type of composition, you're really not going to get too much done, as we saw. You have a comp that's all about damage. You have the Brigida for that self-sustain. Zenyatta's Discord is an extremely strong ability. And yet, you don't really get much room out of it. Not even those stuns from the Cassidy were able to slow people down. They just have to do their best to hold once more, or else it's going to be a 3-0.
Yeah, this is Charybdis are on the back foot, up against the ropes. Need to try to find a play to keep this winnable here. Should be starting the Widow once again. Some pull this off on the attack. Did not work to his favor, really. But we will see what he's able to do here, as you can see how much respect Charybdis is showing them. Look how much space they're providing to Icarus.
It's very much a lot, as this fight is mostly being proposed. Cerubi is also not taking any aggression. Notice how every time we see them, they're behind that point, waiting for the enemy team to walk in, and look how much time they gave them and what they did with it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimate. I mean, this has been a Tracer performance for the ages here, and he continues it as he takes down the support line. Oh, I think it's a bit of teabagging there from a Kiwi.
Toxic.
Reported, banned by ESIC. Lich, though, nearly goes down there. Neptune not able to take him. He's tried his best to stay alive. Bit of a whiff there from Lich, gives him a second chance at life.
Yeah, they have to do their best to try to solve this out, but that is a massive ult disadvantage and ability. This mines could be massive, but the issue is that, well, they haven't been getting much out of them.
Yeah, you see Wrecking Ball of Osama. He's falling so low, goes down as well. 2 kills, though, from the defense. Charybdis trying to keep themselves into this. Pulse Bob this time does miss from ultimate. Has to fall back for just a moment here. So this is looking like Charybdis have finally managed to stabilize.
The respawns were just a bit more in the favor, as well as Icarus kind of split their focus for a tiny second. They were really just trying to just get any value. Same with Eevee, kind of leaving the fight. You really need your Wrecking Ball to be there. They still have 2 minutes, and they are very close to capping this. As long as they don't get heavily staggered in a couple seconds, they're going to be perfectly fine. Oh.
Oh, no.
I didn't mean for the other team. Though, Lich being gone may be able to help. It matters on how this mines are going to be used. Mines is all about controlling and seeing if you can burst them down, and they are ready to do so.
Yeah, Flux comes through. Oh, that's a good Flux. And the anti-nade was on to Super B, so he goes down even though the Transcendence was there. Quite tragic. Man advantage out for the attack, trying to capitalize off the back. The Sigma is buying his time on the cart, but I don't know for how much longer. Zephyr goes down. Ultimate continuing his dominance of this match, has to recall to stay alive. Pulsar's gonna miss the target. Does not matter though, but in the end, does end up going down. Kiwi is almost the side of the map. Okay, sure. Icarus though.
Another. This could
We've been
possibly,
here for 40 minutes. And it's 3-0.
This could possibly be one of the most dominant performances so far within GitGud history. And I say possibly because I don't remember everything that happens in GitGud. I have a short
You've
brain.
not watched every GitGud match ever?
I have, but I don't remember everything. The problem that came to that last fight is we did not see them work as a unit. Zen was hiding in a small kind of corridor, and yes, that's understandable. The enemy team is pushing into you. You know, I get why that is. And Brig's trying to work with the Sigma, but Brig is hitting the air 100%, not trying to just push and give that room. What is a Sigma going to do against a Brigitte? Throw that secretion? Okay, you throw secretion. You have a Sigma right next to you. The Wrecking Ball is somewhere else, and the rest of the team's not really worried about you. They had a long time to try to bring that back and look for those ult charge, but they're not really taking a lot of optimal routes or abilities, especially when they lose that Wrecking Ball very early, and that Wrecking Ball has to come back and then find a target to engage on, which you should already be setting up for, is a massive problem. Now you have to try and bring this to a victory on 2CP, which is the hardest map to bring your comeback on. Though, not to toot my own horn, I actually had a reverse sweep one time that started because of 2CP, so maybe I'm just better than the average player.
I remember there was this game, I believe it was in League 0 I casted, and it was a 6-mappa, and it was a reverse sweep, and it started on 2CP. They drew 2CP. They reverse sweeped off of that. So,
you know, I'll give you that. You know, I think 2CP can be a momentum switcher, but it's really hard, and that's just because 2CP is a very difficult map, especially if you start on something like Hanamura. Volskaya is one of those more interesting ones, and then Temple of Anubis, I think, is like one of those dead 50-50s that you can be the worst team, but with a better composition, you win out on. It's still going to matter to see if they can reset their mentals. They have slowly been looking like they're more and more warmed up, but I feel no matter how warmed up they are, they're not really doing anything with it. They're not cleaning executions. They're not really playing the game. They're more of just looking like they're setting up and trying to scrim. As rude as that sounds, it's a bit more of like an honest kind of observation.
Yeah, Icarus they just look better. They really do just look better. I don't really know what I would do if you're Charybdis. They just look like they're being outclassed. Yeah, I maybe try to run some more team-oriented comps. Like maybe try to run a lot of Brawl, maybe. Yeah, try to go towards some 6-man. I just feel like these ball comps they've ran them essentially all day, and they've just been beat down by Icarus.
Yeah, I think when you're playing against a team that is playing so much faster than you, your entire composition has to just kind of revolve around destroying what makes them good. And ideas go from that to poke, or maybe just pure dive, where you're just absolutely jumping into the enemies and you're flat out just ignoring any kind of possibility of them being able to go onto you. Or even bunker, which works well with kind of staying in one spot and thriving off of it. However, they're basically going for very close mirrors. And those mirrors aren't really working out if you're not playing better than them. I think there are very only specific compositions where you can mirror, change your playstyle, and beat them because of it. Wrecking Ball is not one of them.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
We have our next map pick, though.
Oh, no.
It has finally come through. It's going to be Anubis.
The 50 chance. Oh, no. This map. Temple of Anubis. I love Temple of Anubis. I think it's better than Hanamura. And that's because this map very much more benefits on team coordination and focus. If you're able to work as a unit and you're able to look at the same target and you all actually shoot them instead of just saying, I was on them, what were you doing? But you turned around.
I forgot how to make finger guns for a second.
The pantry is just taking
over. I tried to go like this and make a finger gun.
Has your pantry just taken over your whole personality now? You can't do anything else?
It's because I can't close this finger in. It like messed my whole thing up and I just was so confused. I'm like,
you know what? I can't believe you lost your own finger. Either way.
It's still here.
Oh, wow.
Close it.
Good job.
Thanks.
Either way, Temple of Anubis is a very difficult map. Very famous and home to those big spams. And while it is harder to run out on that Wrecking Ball composition, I'll say flat out, and that's solely just because angles are so tight and narrow. It's like running it on King's Row, where something like a Junkrat or a Pharah, the fact that you are rolling into their direction, you may get hit with their splash damage, which is more than enough to try and focus you and take you out of the fight. It's going to matter to see how they try to adapt around it, and rather what compositions are they directly playing. Is Icarus finally going to get off of that Wrecking Ball composition, maybe switch over to that double shield, a more composition focused on poking angles and just pure spam, like a Torbjorn Junkrat, a Pharah Junkrat, which I rarely ever see, even though it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, you can't get me wrong. Imagine Valking and you have two people who can do absolute burst damage.
Yeah, definitely. So
we're still,
we're just waiting for the readies. We can hop in, but this has been a complete 180 from our finals that we had yesterday. I mean, you casted that incredible 7-map set. The game me and Joker did yesterday, I mean, it was a 4-0, but it was a very, very close 4-0.
Yeah, right? I remember seeing they were just going back and forth.
There was the hour-and-a-half long... It was almost an hour-and-a-half long Volskaya yesterday, dude. It was a great day of Overwatch.
Yeah, I think those are one of those closer, less dominant maps in those ideas where you get to see a team truly go above and beyond to try to win it out. But sometimes it's just not your day. Sometimes you're not going to be having that ability to clean this up. But who knows? Maybe Charybdis. Did I say that?
Charybdis. It's Ka. Rib.
What is this, Mortal Kombat?
No, it's like Ka, like the word Ka, or the sound Ka. Rib, like the McRib. Dis.
The McRib? What is this, McDonald's having? Is this a part of McDonald's now? We're not taking that sponsorship up. We're in the city right now, okay?
No, I was just explaining to you. I was just like going over how to pronounce the word Charybdis.
You did it terribly. Either way, Charybdis.
You're just jealous. You don't eat McRibs daily. That's your problem.
I feel like you go to McDonald's, ask for the McRib, and you don't leave until someone pulls one out of their own intestines. This is the world that you're walking off of. Either way.
No, actually, when I go to McDonald's to say, can I get a McRib? And then they like throw a McRib on this flat top, and then they douse it in barbecue sauce.
What's a flat top?
Like a flat top grill. Do you not like a flat top?
It's a grill is a grill. You're gonna get cooked. You're getting grilled regardless.
Because you have flat tops, which are like flat tops that have heat that come up into them through like electricity normally. And then you have a grill, which is a flame.
Grills can have electricity? Why do we sit outside then and do it with charcoal? What's the point of that?
Because the grill that's a flat top uses electricity. It's not as good. Well, okay, to explain to Exis, our producer. So, you have the grills that have, like, the grates in them, and then there's a flame. And then you have a flat top, which is a flat top, which is no flame, and it's just heat.
Then it's just heat? They're just getting warmed up.
Oh my
there
God,
are
I'm going
tiny
crazy.
people in there hugging each other, trying to just keep that warmth. Where do you think that heat's coming from?
No.
Huh?
A flat. Okay, so like a flat.
You think
top
Anubis is coming down?
You know how a grill has grill bars on it, and there's a grill with different metal bars, right? Right, Intel?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you have the flat top, which is a flat metal sheet. There is no holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flat metal sheet. That's what a flat top is.
Okay.
I'm like half your age, Intel, and you don't know what this is.
Yes, because I don't sit down there, and I'm still sort of confused because I don't understand the idea of calling
Have you
a
never
grill
watched
a flat.
a cooking show in your life?
I watched Gordon Ramsay.
I've watched every season of Hell's Kitchen. Not to brag, but I've watched every season of Hell's Kitchen. And you know, in the kitchen, they have the grill that has the
a lot
flame,
of fire.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's the normal stovetop that people that have are like think they're wealthy have.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank God. We're going
That have
in.
flames. And then you have flat tops, which there is no where it's just flat metal.
Mm-hmm.
And you use that to like heat up water and stuff.
You're still going
And
with this?
yeah, I'm explaining to you how the fact that you don't know what a flat top is gonna make me go crazy. How do you not know what a flat top is? It's just a flat piece of metal. Dude, I'm posting with the
Listen,
production chat.
the only thing I know about a flat top is about my ex-wife, okay? I don't want to hear about it. We are looking at a more... Don't worry, problem. Alright, it's all about the transitions. That's what I've been working on throughout my entire life. We are seeing Icarus. They are playing that double bubble. That composition is going to work very well, and it's high resource intensive. A little bit more worried to see kind of this idea go out. I think it's a really hard composition to run, but it's absolutely really strong, especially against this Wrecking Ball. Neptune has already been showing kind of ideas of the Sombra, though not getting too much room off of it, especially from Junkertown. I don't see too much coming out of their dives. It's going to be really hard to get these setups up.
Yeah, definitely. So they are gonna try to run the 6-man here on the, or not 6-man, excuse me, just a double bubble area for Icarus. Lucio picks a bit interesting though.
They're already getting set up. Charybdis, they look to be kind of just poking out Neptune. Front laning as Sombra is not going to turn out well in any room.
Yeah, so you're gonna see a Sombra try to make a play here on the Wrecking Ball. Oh wow, the damage. Might end up going down here, and he does ultimate taking it down. You can see Super B has to retreat as he's being put under some pressure. And he's gonna manage to make it out.
Just barely, but they didn't really get too much out of it for the amount of resources they put in. Even Speedy, during like the offset of the fight, gets picked off. Was close to that Transcendence, which I mean is the bright side. But other than that, you're not even going to be able to pick off Lich.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lich is doing a minuscule amount of tomfoolery. Have you seen the gif of like the cat and he's like moves forward and it says a minuscule amount of tomfoolery?
No, I don't even know. But they're doing so well. Lich is such a powerful character, but luckily the spam now may catch them out.
Yeah, and there's the Nano Boost. Goes forward onto the Zarya. Gets the opening, but 2 kills do go the way of the attack. Hackup's throwing a spike as well. Taking some pressure. And stay alive. Charybdis, they need to capitalize on this opening. They have.
They're able to get some poke in, but they're not shutting anyone down. They're still alive.
Yeah, definitely. Pulse Bomb Stick comes through. Takes out Ninja. And Charybdis, they are on their route to a victory here. Sound Barrier comes through, though. Defense of Icarus, they're not want to give this up. Diva Bomb comes through. Banshee catch down Eevee. Big opening. Or not opening, but continuing kick there. Remat comes through as well. What is Seda doing? Seda's like in the Matrix right now. stuck in Weaving. Full spike comes through, manages to take him down. And this is looking good for Charybdis still, but they just can't finish this off.
Unfortunately, it's not looking like that either. Icarus, they're just at a big disadvantage. These respawns are hurting them more and more. But yet, Charybdis, they're not finishing this out. Look at this time base slowly go down. There is an opportunity, and they are retreating.
Yeah, they are, I mean, they don't seem to have the killer instinct needed to win this. I'm not gonna lie, they just seem not to, but as soon as I say that, every single member of Icarus falls, and Charybdis, for the first time this map, has capped a point, or set.
Hey, it's absolutely great. That's a way to start it. A little late in the series, but it's a little late to start it. Either way, you set yourself up, but they don't have the killer instinct. They won because of that EMP, managing to eliminate some resources from Icarus, but being for this respawn advantage, which is basically what they had from before, now switching over to the defending side, there's not much they have.
Yeah, good opening there, though. Takes on the Tracer counterpart for Super B. Now, Icarus, they're on a bit of a retreating path here. They're going to have to respawn up through fairly quickly. There's Banana Boost onto Eevee. Going forward here, and there's the opening frog as she takes down Super B. Really nice pick there. Look how much space Eevee is buying, and his team is capitalizing on that here, as Icarus are winning this fight.
Yep, look at this, just wanting to push in as far as they can,
Good
even
answer.
being able to get so much room. There's just not really much you can do. And I did say this earlier, but it does get increasingly hard to be able to push in on the Wrecking Ball with this comp. Though, imagine to hit Froggies, that's a bit of an ego push. You're not really going to stop them from coming back. That's a whole Brigida.
Yeah, definitely.
They are looking to kind of more build up these ultimates, I'm guessing, to set themselves up. But if they don't get a basic team kill or a EMP as a backup, they're not really going to get much done from this.
Yeah, 100%. They need to try to pull something off here. Diva Bomb coming through onto the back. Does catch anybody? No, it does not. Zeta falling low goes down. One tick has been gained, though, as the Lucio sound barrier comes through. This double maid support comp of Charybdis is starting to show its worth, I guess. But D-Mech comes through, and so Charybdis aren't going to win this. Not really sure why they are on the Lucio Brig, honestly.
The center idea of this Lucio Brig is all about speed and contest. You see, as that Lucio is being able to walk around, and luckily they get that tick. That's a sizable win condition right there, because basically all you have to do is full hold the opponents. And even then, as long as they don't get that first tick, and that's like little second tiny piece, yeah, you're pretty much winning out. They have the EMP and Spike's D-Mech, meaning that they have nobody to eat up this damage. It's going to be a big problem for them now.
Yeah, definitely. They do manage to get an opening there. EMP as well comes through. They're trying to engage. Good pulse bomb stick there from Super B. Manages to take down the Brigitte. But Charybdis still not in the best of situations here. They don't see it. They're not really engaging. They don't have their Diva Mech, so it's kind of stalling out their options.
The fight's continuing on. They're looking to just try to get as much as they can, but the stall with this rally is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Minefield comes through as well, trying to split them up, trying to find any kills. 1-for-1 trade comes through, but like when the defense loses a player, they have to respawn. So as long as they can stall out, feeling pretty good about Icarus' chances as they manage to take down Osamu. Icarus looking to clean up this engage. Not many members of Charybdis remaining. They will hold once again.
It's just a really bit unfortunate. They did not clean it up fast enough. You gotta be putting in that killer instinct. You know, I mean, you're setting up with these ultimates. You're getting really close to having a big bank, but so is Icarus in comparison. But you have 20 seconds left on the clock. You're at the disadvantage.
Yeah, very little time left on the clock there. Pick up through though. There's the opening. Multi-core from Lich is going to be deployed onto the objective, trying to zone people off, but the Diva's going to eat as much of that goo as possible. Opening kill or trade comes through. 5 seconds left. Clock is going down. Eevee going to pop the primal rage to stay alive. Overtime has been triggered, but it is quickly falling. Icarus are so close to winning this. They're looking to hold this off as they will be only a few ticks away from winning this set, and they will get this hold. Only the Tracer remaining.
Well, as you say that, we're going to be seeing that drop off. Icarus, having that instinct, that EMP was a little bit too predictable. As you saw from the camera angle, Lich was able to immediately notice it was going to happen. Once that Molten Core placed down, nobody could follow up on that EMP. Basically, fully countering it and shutting it down, which was that big problem. Their entire win condition was Neptune's own EMP. They put such a big reliance on it that losing it, I think, hurt them really drastically. Now they have to hold not only first point, but second point. The second point's a lot easier comparably to that first point, as we saw. It was a lot harder for Icarus to kind of bring that back, even though they've been looking like the better team. Charybdis, though, they've been able to kind of, I think, slowly bring their steadily in. They work really well when they're slowing down the game. I definitely have to agree with the Wrecking Ball composition we saw on first point. They slowed things down. They just looked for those awkward boops, and Icarus really couldn't do anything after a long time. Their composition's really fast-paced. They're just looking to go in and out. And in these sustained fights where Speedy and Septa, they're going to be building up these ult charge. Well, they're going to be perfectly fine. Look at that. That's a special Tracer tech I haven't seen in such a long time. Super B, I'm absolutely impressed.
The Tracer's hiding in the Torb turret spot. That's where you place your Torb turret, and it's a pain in the ass to break.
Agree. But now look, Icarus themselves, this is just pure double bubble aggression. Reaper's going to be able to counter out Osamu, the D.Va.
Just to interrupt you here, if they're running this, I feel like the Reaper pick is really weird, and so is the Lucio. These are two weird picks, honestly, because the Reaper wants to play super close range, and normally you would want to play that in more of a six-man style. And same with the Lucio.
Yeah, but it's just a standard difference. The idea about it is just absolute aggression. No means no. As this Ana wants to be mobile with you, you see this. She's rotating absolutely around them. Ninja is never going to be leaving their side. Lich is going to be continuing to move with them as well. It's just big burst damage.
Yeah, and you can see Eevee is starting to march forward here, receiving support from his team. And he's going to go onto the back there, takes a lot of pressure, but he's not going to go down. No, it's going to be Super B. Lich with the opening there. A lot of pressure on the Ninja that needs to possibly hit a sleep dart to stay alive. This team will come back and support him. Man advantage is still for this attack. They're getting ever closer to capping up this point. D.Va tags into touch for just a moment. 2 ticks have been gained. Wrecking Ball is rejoined the fray, slams down onto the objective, doesn't do too much, as there's the Lucio and the Tracer combining. Ultimate once again showing his value here, as this is going to be Icarus with the capture of first point here. 45.2% away from winning the set.
Yeah, you can see as kind of the style was very much different, and you weren't necessarily wrong on the interpretation. But the reason why it works so well is that they're not leaving anyone out for that Wrecking Ball competition to focus on. Notice how the moment Lich starts damaging in, they immediately have to retreat.
Yeah, definitely. You can see good opening there. So Icarus is going to be sent packing for just a moment. Have to wait for their Zarya to rejoin.
Yeah, it's this is where the kind of the more of a Moira types of fits in. They want to push in, never mind.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the openings. Very aggressive play there for Charybdis, and it ends up working. They find a couple of kills. This is going to be Charybdis winning this out here. Oh, Neptune.
No, I don't think you should be doing that at all.
Just trying to get killed.
Yeah, if Lich had just shot once, the spread would have opened it up. Neptune, though, is kind of preparing, being able to read, is looking for that early ult damage on a Zarya instead of the Monkey. Quite curious to see. It is going to be hard for them to move in as this burst damage. They have to be taking the fights like this if they want any chance to have their hopes alive. If they fight this on point, will they set themselves up to lose?
I wouldn't say they set themselves up to lose, but definitely makes it harder there. So Swami goes down. That may be the opening they are looking for. Nanoboost gets deployed, so does the Sound Barrier. So many ultimates for Icarus coming through. Expect the Death Blossom to come through at any moment. It's going to be a Blossom onto the Nanohood rallied Brig, so don't expect that to die anytime soon. That's a scary statement. Nanohood rallying Brig. Yeah, I don't want to have to do that. But, yeah, Charybdis, they have to retreat into their spawn room for a moment. Power Drive comes through. You're going to see that 2 go down here. Charybdis, they're trying to fight back, though, with that pick on the Lich.
Septa put in so much work. If Septa had died, that fight would have been over in an instant. However, with Septa being alive, also getting that peel in from Speedy, it just worked out so well. I've never seen a Brigitte manage to not only survive a grab, but then getting nanoed because a Death Blossom was there. It didn't even break the shield. They were perfectly fine. They just bursted through it.
Yeah, but there's an opening. Neptune actually falls there, kind of out of nowhere, and then aggression's coming through. Pulse Bomb barely misses its target, but it's still expecting Split to go down. And there it is! Icarus, ever so closer, moving towards the victory here. Good sleep start from Ninja! Oh my gosh, Super B has been a shining player for the side. Throughout the season goes down!
That's a C9.
And Icarus are your GitGud North America Season 8 champions. In a dominant fashion here, 4-0 over Charybdis.
They just ended it off on a C9. That the Wrecking Ball got booped off the point. They just weren't ready to just push in. The mines were there. They were set. And yet, in the end, they weren't able to fully collapse on top of Icarus. Wow. That... It's not even 10:30. We started at around...
The first map started at 9:19.
I gotta say, that was a very quick match, considered a definition of a speed run. Icarus very much deserved that seeding spot. I think Charybdis, they have a lot to work on, but they necessarily don't need to feel bad. Second place is not anything to be ashamed of.
Second place at the highest division.
Yeah, they worked their tails off to make it here, and they deserve their spot. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there.
This probably means that Charybdis is the second best GGNA team in total. Don't know about the EU teams. We would have to see there, but in North America, it probably means they're the second best because, of course, it's the highest division, so the players are the best, and so it's who knows about EU? EU teams could just be better. The British Mafia coming out, but yeah, this is. It was a great game from Icarus. I mean, at this time last night, we were 3 maps into the game. We were in getting ready for map 2.
Yeah, I feel this is also a very honorable moment to kind of end the GitGud series off. Not only was this a show of just pure dominance, but it ended off with a C9. You know? Yeah. I think that's, if there's anything to end an Overwatch competition on... 2CP? Yeah, if there's anything...
Maybe the last 2CP in GitGud.
Yeah, if there's any opportunity, especially after such a good hold, it's this one. They looked absolutely beautiful. And, at least I would just want to say, who do you think would deserve that MVP title? Because we saw a lot of amazing players on the side of Icarus.
I mean, it's Ultimate, what? Right? It's Ultimate? I mean, he just carried so hard in some situations. That map 2 and 3, it was just the Ultima show. I mean, he had 3Ks after 3Ks, just winning fights single-handedly. It has to go to him. I mean, there was a lot of other good members as well for their side, but I think it has to go to him.
Yeah, as much as I want to give it to the support line or Eevee, who was doing absolutely amazing continuously, the off-tank, a role that you don't get a lot of love on, but was absolutely carrying at times to keep that fight up. I definitely think that was the difference maker in a lot of these scenarios, and in the end, they managed to clean it up. Definitely getting my MVP vote as well, but Joe, this is basically the ending. We have finally rested down.
Yeah, that's it. GitGud is done for the season. Yeah, it's a very like you said, it's a very fitting way to end off here. We end off with a C9, 2CP, and a 4-0. Yeah, so.
Yep. I gotta say, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to GitGud throughout the entire season. It means so much love and production has been putting into this series, and there's still so much more to come in the future. But I recommend following the Elo Hell Twitter if you want to keep up to date with that. You can check it in the description summary area. You can see the Discord. It's basically just at Elo Hell Esports. We keep up to date and post content consistently as well, with more things coming out in the future. I definitely think if you enjoyed what you saw throughout this entire season, you come follow, you come join the Discord so you can keep up to date, join the community. It's been an absolute blast, at least on our side.
Yeah, and a bit of like publicizing or publicizing self-promotion. You should follow me at Intel on Twitter.
Yeah, and
you can see our Twitters below us. We post when we cast.
Yeah, as well as like follow everybody on the side of the productions. If you want to see where they are, that's on the Elo Hell Twitter as well. They post everybody who works on the production. They have been going insane. They have been rapid fire. Though I know our one of our producers, Ika, he's praying right now. He's like, oh no, map 7. No. But either
That's a
way,
pretty accurate impersonation, I think.
I'm very good at it.
He's also just, I think we should keep talking for like the next hour so he can't go to sleep.
Oh my, no. I'd be yelled at after that. But either way, I will take us out here, Mr. Joe Razor, but I'd recommend Joe Razor, absolutely brilliant caster. So, we want to thank Icarus for joining us as our last match of the season. Same with Charybdis. And either way, this is the end of Get Good NA. We'll see you whenever the next time is.
Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone.